Hello, thank you, and coming to my review and trophy review of Bloodborne. Of course, review first, trophy review later. This mainly video is done for gamershub.com. That link, along with my links to my Twitch, Twitter, and all that good stuff, will be in the descriptions below. So you should go ahead and check that out, preferably after the video is over. So moving on to the actual review of the game, we're going to start with gameplay of it. I do really appreciate the combat system for Bloodborne. I do appreciate them making it fast-paced, taking out shields, so that way, it makes the combat more fast-paced. You're more aggressive. In PvP, people aren't hiding behind shields and whatnot. So I personally do appreciate it. I honestly, I was going back and looking at like Dark Souls and everything like that, and I kind of wish this combat system was for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. Same with Demon Souls, but I really do hope they move on to a Bloodborne 2. I really do enjoy this game's combat, as I'm trying to demonstrate here, but kind of getting wrecked. The weapons, I do understand people. Oh God, get off me! I do understand how people are not liking that there's 12 or 14 weapons, but with that, I do think they really did make these weapons the best as they could, making them trick weapons so they have two forms. Not only up the customizations for the weapons, they also did greatly improve over the others. As you can see here, I do have Lost and Uncanny of these weapons. They definitely just changed the slots, and then with those slots you can fully customize your weapons, so you can make them necessarily a fire or a bolt weapon. You can also make them arcane if you choose to be. And then, as you can see here, you can switch in mid-combat. So, me personally, I do really love, I really do love the combat they did for this game. Really fast-paced. Once again, really wanting a Bloodborne 2. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the visual. As you can see, this game looks amazing. Game just looks amazing. Especially the lighting, because they did actually make torches more useful by making areas actually dark. They really just show the power of the PS4. The only issues with necessarily looks is that every so often there are things that need to load in, like you probably saw with that tower right there. There is hopefully a patch to fix frame rate drop. There are noticeably some frame rate drops at sometimes, not enough to where you're always complaining about it, but you'll see it eventually. But other than that, game looks freaking amazing. And I'm doing a very bad of talking and doing this review. I apologize. Moving on to sound, music of the game. I really do love the music of the game. I really do think they did a great job with the soundtrack of it. I bought it so I can go ahead and listen to it when I want to. Mainly the Cleric Beast song would probably be my all-time favorite one. Oh, I've died. There are some problems with the game when you die, and of course you're going to the loading screen, which this is pre-patch, so it is quite a while. And when you're going through the chalice, or just playing the game, you're just kind of just roaming around, it can be kind of too quiet. I kind of wish there was some type of music that was playing, not too loud, but just something just chilling in the background. I think that would have been probably a plus, at least for me. Same thing. Like, I've heard people complain about boss music being played multiple times through bosses. Me personally, I don't mind it because I really love the music, so I don't mind it. I can see how that can bug other people though. Moving on to story, the story of this game, I do wish they probably went at it through a different way. With the story, it's not necessarily just told to you flat out right then and there. You get the story just by playing the game. They did make it to where you have to necessarily kind of search for the story, like through item descriptions, weapon descriptions, descriptions of key items, and etc. etc. That's how necessarily the full story of Bloodborne is told. Just like Dark Souls and Demon Souls, you have to you have to get all the weapons, get all the armor, listen to what the NPCs say, and then that's how you would necessarily get the full story of Bloodborne, which I can understand people not liking because it's not told to you. It's not told to you flat out, but at the same time, if you like looking for it, you like creating your own theories and going online and comparing your notes to other people. That's something that I really do enjoy, with seeing what people think of. Very classy. So that's not sure it is. I can understand, but it's a very good story. When you put all the pieces together. Moving on to pretty much etc. There are these chalice dungeons. If you see here, hold on. With these chalice dungeons, there are literally the normal ones, which don't have root in it, and they're just harder as you go down. But there is root, and the root chalice are necessarily the random dungeons generators for the game. With that, and with those chalice dungeons, at least the stocked what root, if it's not a root dungeon, then it's a stock dungeon. It's gonna be the same thing if you go through it. I go through it, same bosses. But once you beat the standard dungeon, you do unlock the root version of it, which you can create, and when you create it, it randomly generates a dungeon. A cool thing about it is that you can share your dungeons. So in the harder later dungeons, let's say I have a dungeon that has 5 or 6 different loot and uncanny weapons. Not that it probably would. I can go ahead and make my dungeon, my chalice open, and then I can go ahead and give you the passcode, and then you can go ahead and get in there, and then you can go ahead and get those weapons yourself. Really do love this site. Magic, there is magic in the game. They didn't necessarily take it out, but it's not its own. It's not like how it was before. Magic are necessarily items that are consumables. At least for me, that is kind of a negative, because I initially love magic. Being a wizard and everything, I really do love magic. But they do replace it with these magical items that have their own usage. Of course, you have to have the proper arcane to equip them, and then themselves will use bullets, so they're not necessarily unlimited. Let me go. Oh, we're gonna do that, huh? But they do have magic in the game, so it's good enough for me. I mean, I really do hope I was hoping there's more, or just magic itself in the game, or if they just limit it and then make it too much. But it's cool. It's whatever. Now I'm moving on to, there is PvP in the game, of course. There's also PvE. In order to help someone, you just ring a bell. If you're looking for help, you just ring the beckoning bell. If you're looking to help someone, ring the bell. If you're looking for PvP, you go ahead and ring this bell. They do still have the note system and everything like that, so you can place your notes. People can rate them and everything like that. You can go ahead and write your own to go ahead and communicate with others, give them warnings, or even just flat out lie to them. So there's still that, which I do appreciate. Of course, me personally, I don't necessarily like PvP, not because it's just, you're fighting other people or anything like that. It's just I don't feel like it's rewarding enough, because unlike Demon Souls and Dark Souls, you do have to actually farm for your healing items and your bullets, so you don't necessarily get them all back when you kill someone in PvP. So you could be using all yours and then end up losing, or even if you win, you'll still not get enough blood from the win itself to redeem all the stuff you consumed for the fight. Outside that, PvP is cool. I kind of wish there was a way to make it to where you couldn't heal, or if in PvP healing took longer to do, so that way that really does reward aggressive people instead of just healing in mid combat as quickly as you do. Bosses in the game, they really did improve on what the bosses of the game. With Dark Souls 2, a lot of the bosses were just human forms. Humans, 2 legs, 2 hands, and a head, or four or wings, or with 4 arms or something like that. A lot of them were pretty much just based off a human, which I didn't like. With this game, Bloodborne, I really do think they really expanded on bosses of just how they are, how they look, and everything like that. Not everything here is just some human or some knight or something like that. Some of the bosses, especially one of them, people keep thinking it has a cape. When it doesn't, it actually has its back skin ripped apart and over its head, and when you find that out, that's quite gruesome. But other than that, I really do appreciate the game. I really like what they did with the with the weapons, and how you can customize them with gem slots, and necessarily make the weapons you want, make them fire, make them bolt, make them add poison to them, stuff like that. I really do appreciate it with the customizations of the weapons, because even though me and you are using the same sword, our slots can make them 2 totally different weapons. But with that, I give this game 9 out of 10. If you have a PS4, it's definitely worth trying. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea, but it's definitely worth trying, renting, borrowing from a friend, waiting until it's on sale. But if you're definitely a fan of Dark Souls, Demon Souls, I definitely recommend you get the game. So now this part is moving on to the trophy review of the game. So if you're not necessarily looking to get the platinum, or you're necessarily not wanting to get the trophies for this game, you can just pretty much just stop the video, go to the links below, and go about your day. But the trophies for the game, the trophies for this game, I don't give it necessarily too hard. I wouldn't say it's probably an 8, maybe a 7 out of 10. Not too hard, not too easy. But one thing I do want to note is that this game does not have any grinding trophies. There's no online trophies. So that is something that is definitely a plus. You don't have to help 50 people online to get a trophy. So if you necessarily don't like online, you don't have to do that. But 7 or 8 should take you about 40 to 60 hours if you use a guide and do it all in one playthrough. Also, you can do it all in one playthrough too. The only thing is that there are 2 glitch trophies, and I'll explain those a little bit later. And there are a few missables, mainly because of bosses. Not all the bosses in this game are mandatory to beat the game, but if you go out and just try to do everything, you'll get them. So let me just go through that list real quick. Hunter's Essence. I'm acquiring all Hunter's weapons. This trophy is missable / glitched. It's only glitched because of Crow, which is one of the NPCs in the game. You have to do her quest line. Doing her quest line gives her her weapon, and it is possible for her to disappear from your game world, which hopefully will be patched soon. It's unknown how to make her, how she disappears from your game world, and it's unknown if you can bring her back or how. I guess I should say, because I did bring her back. She did go ahead and disappear from my game world, but I somehow got her back, so I was able to do the quest line. Alfred's weapon is, through his storyline, it is missable, but if you just do his his quest line, you'll get it. The last boss, there are 2 options when you fight him. If you do both options, you'll be fine. You can also, if you're worried about or don't want to do a whole new playthrough, you can make a save state before the last boss and then fight the boss, get 1 trophy, and then you can go ahead and load up your save and then do the other option, because there are 3 ending trophies, and both options gives you 2. Hunter's Craft, which is getting all the tools. This is not missable, so you can just go ahead and do that at the last minute before you beat the game. There's Weapon Masters, getting a weapon to the highest level. Once again, not missable. You just the blood rock, which is for your final level. That could be something you probably miss. You can just go ahead and once again get that through someone's chalice or get it through your game world, but if you have a guide, you're fine. And Source of the Dream, which is finding a certain space in the game. If you're looking everywhere, checking your corners, you'll more than likely probably find it yourself. These next few trophies, I would naturally say are not missable if you play the game, and I'm not saying if you speedrun the game just to beat the game. If you try to do everything, go everywhere, you will get these trophies. You will get these trophies. So Blood Gem, which is a Blood Gem Master, acquire a extremely precious Blood Gem. Rune Master, acquire a precious Chalice Rune. You'll probably get that towards your mid to end game, off a drop of a drop from an enemy or a boss. Blood Gem Contact, Rune Contact, Chalice of the Pillar, Chainhurst, the Core, the Nightmare, Lecture Building, Chalice of Alan, and Chalice of Isaac. Those are all other things you'll eventually unlock, either through story related, or just fighting a boss or 2. If you're going for all the bosses, you'll get those eventually. I actually went to the wrong entry here, but whatever. Those are the trophies that you will just. I didn't even know I got them. Those trophies, I was just playing the game, and then so often one of those trophies would pop up, and I was like, "Oh, trophy, cool." Moving on. Actually, moving on to the endings. There's once again the 2 endings for what do you do when you get to the boss, and then there's actual a different the secret ending that initially gets you to fighting the secret boss. In order to actually unlock that, you do need 3 items, umbilical cords, and you need to use them before actually fighting the boss. And then after you fight the final boss, a secret boss will pop up. There are 4 in the game. There are things you need to specifically do at a specific time in order to actually unlock them. So with that being said, if you have a guide, you're fine. If not, you can always just do it on New Game Plus. Moving on, there are bosses, boss trophies. Once again, if you're trying to do everything, go everywhere, all the bosses you'll get eventually. The only boss that I need to note is the one that is in the Chalice dungeon, which I am here. Not necessarily this specific Chalice dungeon, but it is in the Chalice. You can cheese her. Unfortunately, the video I created was lost, but you can cheese her by just throwing daggers at her and then getting a hit. But if you fight her naturally, she can be a little bit difficult. You may need to take a few tries and probably even just change up her whole setup with armor and everything. And you know, finding the armor with the best suit, the best armor with the best defense for her. But other than that, all the other bosses, you know, are just bosses. You just beat them, you get trophy. The other one to initially mention is the daughter of Cosmos. With her, it's not necessarily the boss itself that can glitch, but it's a lift before her, an elevator that can glitch. And what necessarily it does is that it just doesn't, the leather for it doesn't work, so the elevator will always be at the bottom. It's currently unknown what causes it, and it's currently unknown how to get it fixed. So just the same with like Crow, for getting all the weapons, she can disappear. The only way to necessarily get past her Crow disappearing and Daughter of the Cosmos and fighting her and getting that trophy, the only other way to necessarily get them if they glitch on you is to go into Doom Game Plus and necessarily just try again. Hopefully those will be patched though. Outside that is the trophies trophy review for this game. Not too easy, but not too hard. There's no online, no grinding, and pretty much if you just play the game, you'll go ahead and get all those. So that's pretty much it. I will, well, that's, you know, pretty much it. Other than that, the only thing I probably didn't mention, unfortunately, is the armor in this game for customization. Just for the standard review, so I apologize. But the armor in this game is, you don't, unfortunately, you don't level it up. But when you do level up yourself, you do level up your defense, so that's initially how you get stronger. But with the armor, you can actually pick one armor and wear it throughout the whole game if you choose to. And you know, once again, that's entirely up to you. I do like how they did it. It does flow in the wind. It's really, you know, realistic, I should say. And some of them are pretty unique. My, of course, favorite being the Knight armor. Went through New Game Plus with this. I just gotta stay classy. Gotta stay classy. But other than that, the links to, you know, my Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and fun Facebook same with Gamers Hub will be in the description below, so you can go ahead and check that out. And always remember, respect the doll. There's waving.